This is Farm Journal's Margie Fisher. I'm with Farm Journal field agronomist Ken Ferrie. Ken, you've had a lot of big crowds of farmers on your speaking engagements this week. We had a series of seminars at National Farm Machinery Show. You kind of recapped the year that we had and why what happened. Really, what did you see as you're traveling and hearing from farmers about their 2011 crop year?
You hear wild extremes, some of the highest yields ever produced on farms and some of the poorest. Unique about 2011, you saw them on the same farm operation, which is quite a bit different than normal, where it's usually just an area. And what we did is kind of recap the year itself and looked at how weather played into it, and in a lot of cases how weather played into the maturity of the crop. You know, for the first time we saw some phenomenal yields in June planted corn in parts of the country that shouldn't have happened. We see some of the most productive soils in Illinois, for instance, producing under 100 bushel corn. So we kind of laid out in our presentation down here where the crucial times are in corn and growth development and how weather has to be correct at that time period. And for the most part, we're talking about pollination through R3 on corn. We're talking about early flowering through R5 on beans. And if the farmer knew where his crop was when certain stress weeks took place, he could predict some of the potential losses. And that caught farmers by surprise, meaning that some of these yield losses were a lot bigger than they anticipated because they weren't maybe paying attention to just what stage the crop was in when it was under serious stress.
Sure, so they can't control the weather, but they can control what they know about their crop at that stage of stress. What are some of the lessons learned, or maybe where were some of the biggest train wrecks you saw last year?
They come from all different directions. Nitrogen management was big in some areas because we had such severe nitrogen loss. So early spring rains, in some cases anywhere from 9 to 10 plus inches of rain in a month, created a lot of nitrogen issues. So farmers that weren't paying attention to nitrogen and didn't respond accordingly suffered. In some places it was just flat lack of water, and if they didn't diversify their flowering windows and stuff like that and got caught at the wrong time, they had too many acres that were trying to get through R1, R3 at the same time, so there wasn't enough diversity there. And some of it was disease, some situations where the disease pressure came in and took out the crop, kind of the last stool of the leg of the stool to break per se. And even though they had water, if they had enough, for instance, Goss's wilt disease, they could have lost most of their yield in that format itself.
Hey, thank you, Ken, very much.
You bet.